Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to my latest video. And in this week's video, I'm going to speak to you guys about the current state of boxing as I see it. And I want to give a shout out right off the bat to my buddy Charles. He actually recommended this topic and thought it would be an interesting video that I would do about it. So I want to thank him for the inspiration for that. And it's a perfect time to actually do it because we're just coming off a big Deontay Wilder win against Malik Scott. So thank you very much, Charles, for the recommendation and idea. I appreciate that, and let's get right into it. So Deontay Wilder is a guy who a lot of people are hoping is going to be the next big American heavyweight. He's got devastating power. He hasn't really fought a ton of great opposition. He hasn't really fought any, to be honest, until the Malik Scott fight. And he destroyed Malik Scott in the first round. So that was very impressive because Malik Scott is a guy who can box, and I didn't think he would knock him out in the first round like he did. I do have some questions about Deontay Wilder. Number one is chin. I saw a video of him get knocked out in amateurs. Also, can he carry his power into later rounds? And what is he going to do when he can't take a guy out early in the fight? But he does have some advantages working for him. He's big, incredible power. I'd say the best, most power in the heavyweight division, in my opinion. And he's an athletic guy. So those are all working to his favor. And it sounds like he's going to get another step up in competition. Sounds like he's going to fight the Bermain Stavern and Chris Arreola winner of their rematch. And if he takes out one of those guys early, that's very impressive because both those guys are tough and they're no pushovers and they're high ranked in the heavyweight division. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait and see with him. That's my approach on him. I don't think he should be fighting Klitschko anytime soon myself. I like to see him get 2 more fights in at least, in my opinion. No sense of rushing him in there, getting embarrassed or something. That's not good for his career, in my opinion. So we'll have to wait and see with him. But some other guys I definitely think people should be checking out if they're not familiar with in the heavyweight division is Mike Perez is one guy. He, in his first fight I saw him in, it was against Magomed Abdusalam. And they just had an absolute classic heavyweight fight. And a lot of people were talking about it for weeks. Just an excellent fight. And Mike Perez had a really good performance. And a lot of people started checking him out and wanted to see more from him. And unfortunately, Magomed Abdusalam suffered a brain injury. And he's currently still in a New York hospital from what I believe. So best of luck to him. Nobody wants to see that, especially after putting it all on the line for the fans. Nobody wants to see that. He has a family. So best of luck to him in the recovery. But Mike Perez in his last fight against Carlos Takam, I definitely think what happened in the Magomed Abdusalam fight affected him in his last fight. He just wasn't the same guy that I had seen in his previous fight. He just didn't seem mentally there, and I mean, you can't blame the guy. You know, he feels bad for what happened in his previous fight, and that weighed on him, in my opinion, and affected his performance. And he also got cut in the fight as well. That didn't help either. So, really, Mike Perez, though I don't think we should be counting him out. It's way too early. This is a guy who's a southpaw, got excellent boxing skills, and is very exciting, and that's what we need in the heavyweight division in boxing. Also, he trains at the Summit Gym up in Big Bear with respected trainer Abel Sanchez, who's done a great job with Gennady Golovkin so far. He's got a good stable of fighters up there, so I think that Mike Perez will only improve. So be on the lookout for him. Another guy is Bryant Jennings from Philadelphia, and I really like watching his fights. He, in his last fight against Arthur Spilkza, he had some excellent defense, patient, and he just showed some really good boxing skills. And he has excellent stamina as well for a heavyweight fighter. He trains very hard. They actually did a short 20-minute kind of documentary thing about him. He is currently also working a full-time job, I believe, as well, as a mechanic. So he also was in the sport late. That's another thing to add. And a very humble guy, so I'm really looking forward to see more of him in the future. Freddie Roach also said that he is America's best heavyweight prospect in his opinion. So that's great coming from respected trainers such as Freddie Roach. Another fighter that I don't hear a lot of people speak about is Corbett Pulev. He is, I believe, from Bulgaria, and he is, a lot of people think, a threat to Vladimir Klitschko. He's a big guy, very patient, has a solid jab, probably the best jab in the heavyweight division, an extensive amateur background. To me, myself, I don't think he's going to beat Vladimir Klitschko. I think he's a little stiff and throws some wide punches, so I think that would be an issue for him. But Klitschko doesn't have the greatest chin, so you never know what happens when they fight. Another guy we got to speak about, who I'm not really a big fan of his boxing skills, but he's bringing a lot of attention to the heavyweight division, which would be Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury just talks an insane amount of crap before his fights. It's pretty funny, and he's getting some people intrigued on his fights. He was 277 pounds in his last fight, though, so I don't know how serious he took the training for that one. But it's interesting to see down the road what we get out of him. I personally don't think he's going to be a big star or anything in the heavyweight division, but he does bring attention to it, and he's got an interesting personality, so be on the lookout for him. He talks a good game anyways and gets people excited to sort of tune in. And last but not least, I want to speak to you guys about Anthony Joshua. He's from the UK area. Great amateur background, won a gold medal. It's a little too early to tell how good he's going to be, but right now, against the competition he's facing, he's been destroying his opponents. Had a first-round knockout his last fight. He's got speed, boxing skills. This kid just looks for real. Lennox Lewis has some excellent compliments about him. So be on the lookout for some of these guys. And I actually think that the boxing heavyweight division, for once, is pretty exciting right now. And I'd like to know what you guys think about it. But me personally, there's a lot of interesting matchups. For the longest time, we never had anything to look forward to in the heavyweight division. So now we have some fighters that I named that I think we should be looking out for. Let me know what you guys think about some of these guys and some matchups you want to see in the heavyweight division. And give me your thoughts on Deontay Wilder as well, because he's a very interesting topic in the boxing world. And thank you once again for tuning in, guys, and checking it out. I appreciate it very much.